Welcome back to my new video. This video, we are going to be talking about how we can use the OpenAI API. Okay, so as you can see in my Python IDE, I have some few imports. We have the OpenAI, the Gradio. Gradio is an open source library for piloting your machine learning model using interfaces like buttons, text boxes, and stuff like that. So here you can see I have my API key up here. And then the model type that we're going to use is GPT-3.5 Turbo. Okay. And we are going to start the interaction with ChatGPT with the system role. And then the content is just going to say, I am Elbow AI. How can I help you? Okay, so if you don't know much about Gradio, this is their website. It's called gradio.app. Quick start, you can visit this link and do pip install, and then you can follow all these prompts here. It's very simple to learn, and I encourage you to have a look. So let's move. So what I'm going to do here is that first I'm going to create some few functions. So I'm going to call it def transcribe audio, and then we're going to pass in the audio. Once we do that, I'm going to say audio file name extension is equal to audio, and then we concatenate it with .wav file. And then we say os.rename, we want to rename this, and then we rename the audio to the audio file extension. Once we do that, now we want to transcribe our audio, but before then we have to open the file, which is the audio file extension, and then we read it as a byte. Okay, so now we can say transcript is equal to OpenAI.audio.transcribe, and then we use the whisper-1 model, and then we pass in the audio file. So the next is to return the transcript, and then we extract the text from that JSON response. So that is it. The next function we're going to define is called transcribe. And that also is going to take the audio. And once it takes the audio, we're going to call our transcribe audio function. So we're going to say transcript is equal to transcribe audio, and then we say audio is equal to audio. Once we do that, we can append user chunk. So that is going to be messages.append, and then we pass in our dictionary, and then the role this time is going to be the user, and then we pass in our transcript. Okay. The transcript needs to have the content key. Okay, so that is that. Once we do this, now we are going to call our chat completion by OpenAI. So we're going to say OpenAI dot chat completion dot create, and then we're going to pass in some few parameters like the model, which is going to say model type, and we're now also going to pass in the message. This is equal to messages, Then we're going to also pass the temperature, which we're going to say 1. And then possibly the max tokens, which is 1048. It can be more than that, but let's just stick to 1048 for now. You can also pass in other parameters, but I'm just going to stick with these few ones. So now we're going to retrieve this as a response object. And then here, we want to append the system chunk. So this is what the system is going to give us. So we want to append it to the messages. So we're going to say sys message is equal to response. We extract the choices key, grab the first element, and then the message. Okay. So now we want to speak through the system. Okay. I'm using the MacBook, so we can call speak to the console. So we're going to say sub process. We're going to say sub process dot call, and then we're going to pass in say, and then we pass in the sys message, and then we grab the content. Okay, so that is that. Now we're going to declare chat transcript is equal to an empty string. And then we say for message in messages, we want to say if message, the role is not equal to system, we want to grab the role and then the content. So we're going to say chat trans is equal to 0:1, and then we pass in new line, and then we format and pass in the message as the role, as well as the message as the content. Okay, once this is done, we can go back and then return the chat trans. Okay, so that is all we need for our two functions. Once that happens, at the end of the day, we're going to call main, and then we call gradio.interface, and this is going to take some parameters. This is going to take some parameters. So let's say dot launch, and then we say share is equal to true. And here we're going to pass in the function that we created up there called transcribe. We're not going to use the parentheses. You ignore the parentheses, and then we are going to pass in input and output. Okay. The output is just going to be a text. And then the input, we are going to get the input from the microphone. So we're going to say gradio.audio, and then we pass in the source argument. Source is going to be microphone, and the type is a file. We're going to pass in a file path. So we're going to say file path, and that is it for our our script. So I'm going to run this. So once I run this, this is just going to run and generate a link as well as a local host port for us. Taking a bit of time, not sure why, but let's wait for it. Okay, I started running. I think my machine is a little bit slow today. I need to restart maybe. Okay, so I think it's running on local URL. You can see it on port 7860 and also on this public URL, this one. So if I visit this URL, this is what we are going to get. Okay, so I'm just going to record something and let's see how it's going to work. So let's say, hi, can you tell me something about ChatGPT? Okay, let me delete this and do it again. Hi, can you tell me something about ChatGPT? Hi, can you tell me something about ChatGPT? Okay, so I'm going to submit this audio. Well, as you can see, it's working. So let's wait for it.
I assume you are referring to the GPT language model developed by OpenAI called GPT, Generative Pre-training Transformer. There have been several iterations of the GPT model, including GPT-1, GPT-2, and GPT-3, each building upon the previous version with more advanced language processing abilities. The GPT language models are pre-trained on large amounts of text data using unsupervised learning techniques, which allows them to generate and understand human-like language. This makes them useful in a variety of language-related applications, such as text completion, automated writing, and conversation modeling. Although the GPT models are powerful, there has been some discussion in the NLP community about the ethical implications of their use.